All right, Al, let's do this. We hear all the time we're supposed to accept, surrender to various situations, things, whatever, and that's good for us. Um, but for us, spiritual novices, sometimes this can be, number one, hard to do, and number two, when we think we're doing it, we're not actually doing it. We're doing something else, which kind of looks like it, or which we can say is it. But instead, what we're actually doing is something that is deep down more like an avoidance or disconnection, or even a resentful shutdown, ignoring. These are all things that can look like acceptance and surrender, but they have a very, very different vibe, obviously, right? But we can fool ourselves so easily. I mean, I'm a master at this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just accepting this person. I accept that my mom is doing her thing, and I'm not gonna engage with it, but I accept that she's, I'm not judging her. I'm just accepting her, but I don't need this in my life, or, you know, that's usually it's about something like that. In relationships, it gets really hairy, real fast. So how do we tell the difference? How do we, like, you know, what are we supposed to, like, if we've never felt it, especially if we've never felt real, like, acceptance slash forgiveness of another person, like, we don't know what the hell it feels like. And we think that, when we're disconnected and not really caring about that person, that's what that is. But yeah, the sort of like spiritually sounding words of acceptance and surrender, they imply a bunch of other things that are not there in simple disconnection, avoidance, ignoring, getting away, running. I'll try to give you a more concrete example, but like, if say my partner, my wife, and I are having some kind of issue. Okay, could be one of a million different things we got issues about. And I come up with the idea, or feel that she needs some time. She's got something going on. Maybe something happened at work or something else, and she needs a little, like, space. Okay. I won't even talk about the fact that it could be me who needs space, but let's just say I think that my wife needs space. Okay, and I'm gonna accept this, surrender to this fact, and give her space. Even though what I kind of want to do is talk it out, let's have a discussion, argument, let's get to the same place. But maybe I cannot have that right now, okay? Maybe she doesn't want that, maybe she's not in the right space for that right now. She needs a little time to get to whatever, that she also wants to do this, okay? That we're on the same level so we can talk about it, whatever. So I am like, okay, honey, I'm gonna give you some space. Let me know when you're ready to talk this through. And then I go, whatever, do something else. Okay, this could be acceptance of my partner's current state, filled with kind of like an understanding that this is a natural thing. I'm not going to say it's bad, that she shouldn't be in this state. She should freaking be ready to talk to me right now. I'm respectful of her inner space and see that she's a full person outside of our relationship, and also trust that she is gonna get there, however long it takes, a day, 2 days, an hour, what do I know? I'm not her. I'm not in her brain, on her feelings. Okay, that feels more like acceptance to me. It's surrendering to the situation where right now I can't get what I want to do from my point. Okay, I can't have it right now, but I will get it, you know? So there's like all kinds of things that go into that. Yeah, there's an acceptance that of another person. There's a trust that sometime it's gonna happen. It's okay, man. It's like not gonna happen now, but it'll happen later. And it's not all about me. Oh my God, that's another huge part of like acceptance and surrender. Like, it's not just about me, obviously. So you're starting to get a feel for what the opposite of this is. If I go away, start hitting the punching bag or whatever, you know, accepting this, like, I'm surrendering to this, like, I'm just gonna work out, I'm just gonna, whatever. But what's the vibe of the space that I'm giving my partner? I really think that she should be ready to talk to me freaking right now. I judge her like crazy for even needing space. So, why you need space right now? Why don't you just talk to me? It is about me. And I want to avoid, instead of facing the like truth of it, which is that she has her own world also, which is to be respected. I want to avoid the whole freaking thing. So I'm both cut off from my like feelings and also really activated too. I'm angry still. That's not that is not accepting anything. That is fighting hard. And it's certainly not surrendering, because it's also trying to control up here what is happening and what just did happen, and having a huge amount of feelings about it, instead of, this actually is okay. This actually is how things are, how they are, and how they're sort of meant to be, or how they are. There's loads of reasons for why things are like this, and they all make sense. You know. Instead, if I'm super worked up and harboring like this resentment that I'm not getting my freaking like needs met right now. I want my needs met right now. In no way is that actual surrender. Even though I might have said to her, fine, you know, take some space. I'll give you some space. Let me know when you're ready. Totally different vibe. And another thing too, where you can sort of feel it, is how open am I to actually having her come back to me and be ready? And what form does that take? Because she comes back and she's like, okay, you know, I'm ready to talk now. Do I say, finally, Jesus? Like, you know, is that the vibe? Or is it legitimately okay with her having taken the time and now coming back and being ready on her time, on her schedule, feeling? Am I actually open and accepting of this idea, of this feeling, of this dynamic? Or am I mad about it? And am I going to let her know somehow by showing this resentment, like what you did to me? I've been suffering for these 2 days, these 2 hours, while waiting for you to be ready. Completely different feeling. Or totally cut off, where I say I'm ready, but I've actually just disconnected completely. And when you come back, I don't actually care. I don't actually want to talk to you. And I'm going to ignore you now. instead of being open to connecting. The two feel very different. I mean, they're different flavors. But the acceptance surrender feels a certain way, which is actually pretty stable. The other ones can feel a bunch of different ways, in my experience. Some range of disconnection, avoidance, anger, resentment, blah, 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 in the distance. So, that's what I got. Yeah, the two feel different. That's for sure. That's the one thing I do know. Alright, have a good one.